nightclub, and those pictures on your screen would be the security presence around that part of the nightclub as they try to get a handle on how to contain what has become a deadly and terrifying night in the capital in France right now. The President Obama, has just been briefed on the security situation in Paris. I should tell you that our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is almost wheels up for a G20 meeting later this evening. We are trying to get comment from him. As he gets briefed, we understand that we will get a statement from him when we have something. Our reporter Catherine Cullen is about to leave with the Prime Minister. Obviously, the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, the President, and other world leaders headed to Paris in just a couple of weeks for those climate talks where security would be top of mind. This could change all of that, obviously, given the nature of these attacks, given the uncertainty of what has unfolded here tonight, and all of this happening, remember, less than a year after those deadly attacks on the Charlie Hebdo offices, that satirical magazine that was targeted, and where 11 people were killed at that time. I have with me here in studio in Ottawa, and obviously Power and Politics not airing at this time. We are instead following the developing story out of Paris as it continues to unfold. But here with me in studio is Ray Boisvert, someone we turn to very often, a former CSIS assistant director, someone we follow often here to get an idea of what's unfolding. Ray, obviously you don't know more than us, but given the coordinated part of what we are seeing, the way it has unfolded in a period of time, what does that lead you to believe?
Well, essentially it comes down to the worst case scenario and the worst nightmare for any of the law enforcement security officials in country. Paris has been on some sort of slow burning high alert for some time now. Charlie Hebdo, lessons learned and sort of preparations. You mentioned the upcoming Summit on Climate, as well as all leads to all that additional special operations and training. The bottom line is that this is probably linked, of course, to the conflict in Syria and Iraq. There may be an ISIS motivation there. There's still the Al-Qaeda senior leadership call to action that still resonates with a lot of people, so you can't remember the very typical Al-Qaeda narrative that also motivates things. There's still also very big, in my experience, of spending time in Paris and spending time in France with French authorities, there's still a very difficult challenge around a big base of the population that feels somewhat disconnected and feels somewhat isolated, and of course has had some numbers of them traveling overseas as foreign fighters and probably returning home. I suspect we'll see elements of that in this particular attack as the details unfold in the next few hours.
All speculation at this stage, because obviously given the speed at which this has unfolded, no one has claimed responsibility for anything, and there certainly hasn't been any clear indication of whether anything was said by these attackers that hit a number of different areas within the 10th and 11th district in Paris. There are now reports of a situation that is unfolding at the Bataclan. Again, this concert hall where we believed about 100 people were being held hostage. Again, these are reports from the TV station known as Europe 1 or 1. This is all unconfirmed at this stage, and we've lost our feed there in Paris. We'll get that back for you as soon as we can, because obviously we want to keep an eye on what is happening there, because security is very high and the presence is very high. But as I was saying, unconfirmed reports at this hour that in fact, the explosions that initially occurred in the Stade de France, which is in northern Paris again, which is where 70,000 people were watching a soccer game, were related to some suicide attackers around the stadium. Again, these are unconfirmed reports at this time, and that they are all dead. There has been gunfire heard at other locations in Paris. Again, unconfirmed at this stage. What we believed was that it was limited to a couple of districts or arrondissements in the northern part of Paris. Again, focused around that nightclub, the stadium, and a restaurant where a number of people were shot with automatic weapons, and we did see those bodies earlier in some still footage. This is cell phone video. No, this is not. I wonder if we have that. This is some cell phone video that we had. And here we are back to the live picture. So as we continue to monitor this situation, the French president is François Hollande is still getting briefed at this hour. The American president, President Obama, has been briefed by Homeland Security. Obviously, this is some sort of coordinated attack, although I understand the Deputy Mayor of Paris is reluctant to say that that is the case. But given the way it has unfolded, it would appear that this is an attack on Paris that is at this stage unclear about how this has unfolded. Let me now show you some of the cell phone video that we have obtained or that we've seen from inside that stadium. Remember, that's where the explosions were heard. Probably about 2 hours ago at this point. 70,000 people were in there watching a soccer game. Look at this. So, the soccer game unfolds, a regular evening, having fun, and some very clearly audible sounds of explosions that some people are now saying were actually suicide bombers. Okay, so let's bring you up to speed again, and I'll bring in Ray Boisvert, who